Hello everyone, welcome back to another solo Trekyards update. The captain's still on an away mission exploring new worlds and new civilizations, but I'm here with a new release. Discovery has released a new trailer or teaser or internet spot on their Twitter, and it was posted to me by our friend Aaron Harvey of Trekmovie and Trek FM fame. He wanted my thoughts because two new ships, or one or two new ships, some new ship shots were released. Now, we don't often see new footage in these little TV spots, unless it's like a little core thing like the Klingon saying we come in peace and whatnot. But this, obviously, we are the ship guys, and this is exciting for us because this image, this first image, now I've done some digital corrections, first image as seen, very, very dark. If we enhance it, we can see a lot more. This is a very interesting design. Now, we can see the Shinzu the Shinzao is there at the back, and if you watch the frame by frame, you can see the lights are flickering on and off, so this implies it is at the end of that battle sequence, somewhere in the pilot episodes, before the Shinzao gets destroyed. Now, we know that the Klingons are the guys that come into that fight, theoretically, and if we actually go to the next picture, we can see a really great sort of first-person almost shot of them firing beam weapons or torpedoes at the big Klingon ship. So there's some sort of battle there, as we know. Now, this ship, though, looks very different to any of the other kinds of ships that we see in this fleet shot, except, of course, that small fighter. But given the way this is framed, it looks far larger than a fighter. If we take that as it's a capital ship, well, straight away, visually, it has a much more of a Romulan aesthetic. It has those outstretched wings, lots of, well, wing detail. It's hard to go more into it than that. Now, the Klingon designs we're seeing in this trailer are certainly a departure from any of the canonical designs. That said, we only really get to see the the Raptor, the bird of prey, the Katinga, which obviously the style goes to all of Trek lore. There's not a lot of variety per se, even with the Enterprise designs, so there's certainly more ships to the fleet than we've ever seen. So these things could be civilian contractors or old house ships, whatever. There are always explanations. This, however, while likely in the same episode, in the same scene, it doesn't follow those other designs so well. And yes, we're only getting a back view here, but the wing motif is a very distinctly Romulan style, either that be of the classic TOS style, which is obviously the more, it's the originator, but doesn't so follow the patterns as well, the Enterprise Zero bird of prey. This to me looks like a mix of the Nirixon, or the Valdor, with its long outstretch, but then with the curve more in line with the Deredex a long time later. So my thought, potentially behind this shot, this image, is that while the Klingons might be an aggressor, there's some sort of war brewing, maybe the Romulans are the ones that start and decloak and actually fire that punch that really starts the war. Because, hey, we've seen in Enterprise they can master their weapons to look like other races. We know that we don't really know what they look like at this time period. So, hey, they build a ship that looks like, well, just like the Flea from Enterprise. They build a ship that doesn't look like necessarily anything that came before it. Do some anonymous attack runs. There you go. We know that in Enterprise or in TOS they wanted to test a new weapon and destroy outposts, and Brian Fuller said that was a storyline or a story plot they're going to reference. So maybe the Romulans are the ones that, behind the scenes, start the war between the Klingons and the Federation. They're the ones that push the button, or push each of the factions' buttons just that one step so far to make this Cold War. Which would certainly be interesting and create a deeper level plot of why they're doing this. Is that their goal, not to fight any race full on as they did and failed to win in the Romulan War, but in fact doing the subterfuge. It's been theorized that we in fact saw a cloaked ship in one of the trailer shots. Now, some people say it's shields. It's when the Europa hits a ship. Some people say it's shields, some people say it's cloak. Now, if it's cloak, the Klingons do not have cloaking technology as of yet, because the treaty that shared technology is not until later on in TOS. So therefore, if it is a cloaked ship, it can only really be a Suliban or Romulan, or I guess Cerulean, or whoever's the ones that Trip has a baby with. Those guys. So we're seeing slight hints here at a deeper plot, perhaps. Now, all this is going on at a single shot from behind, but certainly its shaping doesn't feel overly Klingon, except obviously the Klingon bird of prey. So maybe it's a different stylistic thing. Now, I will say one little it looks great. I mean, I will say it looks pretty interesting. Very oddly scaled in a sense. It's got these huge beams, which I guess could be the level in between Enterprise and TOS designs. In Enterprise, John Eves put lots of cabling between elements to imply you need structural support. Maybe this next evolution is having all these lines of sort of girder support. I will note, look at the beautiful serrated edges of those wings. What a subtly aggressive thing. And in this enhanced image that I've done here, you can obviously see the middle impulse drive and self-illuminated wings throughout, and even like a connecting points. You know, the physical. You know, in a wing they have the bones inside the wing structure. It's those pieces keep it all together. Pretty interesting. Yeah, and if this is the front, I mean, there could even be, you know, a head of an eagle at the top there. I see sort of two little green lights, could be eyes. Very interesting. We're only a few days away from Discovery, you know, just less than a month, so all these questions will be answered. But boy, is it nice to see right at the 11th hour releasing another little trailer spot that has an image which with a ship that is not consistent with the other ships that we've seen. And yes, they were far away, but it is quite different. Now that goes on to the next picture, which Aaron's one he sent us first. It could be the same ship. Could be the same ship, if it's even a ship. There is, we do think that it could be the mechanical thing that Snicker Martin Green's character is standing on to fight the Torchbearer at the end of one of the trailers. Based on how the pieces flow up, it would make some sense. But from this view, it has more of a ship feel, somewhat like the Narada from 2009, with sort of stretched out pieces, or in fact like the Scimitar from Nemesis with the outstretched Thaleron radiation cannon. So it certainly brings in those aesthetical feels. And if you look right in the middle, just above the spotlights, I personally do see the head of some sort of head of a bird, very subtly anyway, and it does remind me of other fan designs. It's intriguing that each sort of pillar that's outstretched is sending off self-illumination. That could, of course, link to this last picture, which has some illumination in the wings. It could be implying a similar design aesthetic, or, like I said, it could be just that spacefaring structure where they fight. So it's quite an interesting thing. I believe that's meant to be some sort of tomb structure in the concept art. But also, it certainly does look like a Romulan ship with its wings outstretched, sort of attack maneuver. Very different, but still visually linking to that. And I can imagine if all the pieces are combined again, it might just look like this other ship potentially. So, yeah, lots to think about here, and it's intriguing that they would start to show new bits of footage, because these are all very, very deliberately edited, and for the most part, they've all, like I said earlier, been repeated footage. But show these two new images, and then I think at this point they know Trekyards is going to pounce on any new ship images. And I'll throw in the picture of the Klingon fighter, what we think might be a fighter that gets destroyed by Shinzu. So certainly visually similar as well, but again the scale feels a bit off on that, and the way this is framed makes it feel like a much larger capital ship. So it could go anywhere here, guys, but I just want to thank Aaron Harvey for showing these two images. Straight away they conjure up a whole lot of new thoughts, new ideas, and boy are we close to the show coming out. It can be anything, guys. I think they're being very clever with their marketing, with how they are constructing these trailers. Perhaps there's not even a war with the Klingons per se. Perhaps it's something else. I did love the trailer where the Klingon said, "We come in peace." This is, and I believe that's the Kuvermach, the head of the Klingons. This show is going to be a very interesting thing. They've had quite a while to plan it, especially with the delays. They've had even longer to try and finesse it. After Brian's loss as well, lost the project, they've had time to reformat the show, possibly make the story even stronger, make it all interconnect more. It's going to be very, very interesting, and the CG looks great, the characters are interesting. It's visually rebooted, but boy, could it still be just sort of Star Trek that we want. And so I'm thoroughly intrigued, and this possible Romulan connection, that's the title of the video. Is it a Romulan ship? It could very well be, and if it is, I like the idea of them being, puppet masters behind it. We know that they like their subterfuge, and how better to destroy the Federation and the Klingons and have them go at it. It's a fair strategy. So there you go, guys, a brand new update, 2 mini images, but hopefully you've enjoyed the slight up-res and up-lighting to help see more things, just little bits as we like to analyse. and put out those ideas. So let us know what you think of these two pictures in the comments below. Do you think it's Romulan? Do you think it's Klingon? Do you think it's another alien race? Aaron said it might be Ferengi based on the outer sort of rim. Possibly. And we are so close to finding out, and we can't wait to analyse these ships fully. We get to see really clear images, because that's going to be excellent. And in full high def, because these are only 720p. So yeah, brand new. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy, and I'm sure Stuart will be back very, very soon to look at more ships and other cool things. But until then, guys, check out our regular videos on the Saturday, the Wednesday, the Tuesday, and of course Discovery updates when they come out. And Orville will come up very, very soon, which will be hopefully a good laugh. So until then, I am... See, I have to think about this extra because I'm the only one here. So until next time, from me, Commander Cockings, we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.